now officially started. Let me just go through today's agenda very briefly. I want to do a very quick summary of the year 2021 for us. Then we'll move forward to the review of the update that we've came here for, which is the version 11 plus. And then we'll do something like a short Q&A session for everyone that has any questions regarding the new features and releases that we've done. Now, when it comes to Easy Redmine itself, we've had an interesting year, to say the least. Back in spring, we released a major update for us, which was the version 11. And for those of you that have missed it for whatever reason, I can highly encourage you to go to our website, easyredmine.com, and into the search field, just type in release notes version 11, and you'll find all the new changes that we've done over the past year. Because if you're not familiar with it, if you're, for example, running the on-premise or server solution of Easy Redmine, I can imagine that these news have missed you, and it's probably a good idea to get updated and get familiar with the things that we've done up until now. 6 months since the version 11 passed, and we have yet another release, which is a smaller one, yet very important, and it's the version 11 plus. Now, for me, I have a few recommendations to share with you before I get started. The first is we're going to be doing the Q&A session, and it's very important for you to use the correct functionality to ask your questions. For that, go into this Zoom plugin or Zoom software that you've opened and use the button called Q&A on the bottom, which should be just below our faces. This is by far the best way to ask questions because we might not be able to go through all the questions that are posted in the regular chat. That's one thing. The second would be, in every case, we highly encourage everyone to go to our website and open new trial accounts. That's generally the easiest way for you to learn things about the new features and new versions. The version 11 plus that we're going to be talking about here is already present on our new trial account. So if you open that, not only you will get to see all these new availabilities or features, but you will also have a dedicated account manager if you don't have that already. And you will be able to speak to someone personally, which generally is a good idea because for us, the overall migration from version 10 to version 11 was a big one. And we wanted to personally approach every single of these migrations and be involved because there's a lot of information to be shared and a lot of experiences to be translated in between. Now, first things first, one of the huge changes or huge additions that we have brought into the version 11 plus is the B2B CRM plugin. Some of you might be familiar with this already. Some of you might be actually using our existing CRM plugin right now. And because I'm from sales, I decided to handle this one before inviting Robert to complete the list of new releases. The B2B CRM is a very big topic for us internally. It is a successor of the CRM plugin, and we feel like this extension deserves a lot of attention. It was developed to further expand Easy Redmine into a platform solution, which means now you can very effectively bring one more team on board into this whole Easy Redmine ecosystem, and that team is sales, obviously. Internal team, we do have an internal team that focuses on trainings and implementations of this B2B CRM because, like I said, it's a huge update. So in case you are running the CRM right now and you will want to migrate to the new version, or if you're just interested about what this extension does, do not hesitate to contact us. I will either personally or one of my colleagues will put you in touch with the member of our internal team specialized on the B2B CRM. And you will be able to get together and maybe do some Q&As or just get a presentation of this new feature. I'm going to jump into the trial and show you a small part of the B2B CRM myself. But as you can imagine, with an extension this big, it generally deserves a lot of personal approach, maybe some customizations made before we can actually, roll it out and consider it a successful presentation. So because of that, once again, we suggest you to get in touch with us. Now I'm going to share my screen, and you should see a trial account that I set up, I think yesterday. So it's a very fresh trial account. Now, like I said, V10 to V11 includes a lot of changes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the More menu and open the B2B CRM. We have a lot of new entities and a completely redesigned structure, which in our point of view creates a better and more robust solutions. For those of you that are used to CRM cases, those are now split into leads and opportunities. For those of you that are used to contacts, we now have accounts, partners, and personal contacts. So 3 new entities to sort of make up for the previous contact ones. And we also have 2 new entities called campaigns and contracts. You can actually see all of them on the right side of the shared screen here: leads, opportunities, accounts, personal contacts, all of these that I spoke about. And I'm going to go swiftly one by one to give you a little more idea of how this works. So I'm going to go and I'm going to open leads first. Now, leads can obviously be integrated into the system from multiple ways. In our case, what we do is we have this trial account setup form on our website. And once that happens, it automatically creates a lead into our internal Easy Redmine. These things can easily be set up for obvious reasons. When I click on lead, partner, opportunity, anything, I do get various homepages and dashboards that you can further customize, which I assume you are pretty used to at this point as Easy Redmine users. But I'm not going to go too much in depth when it comes to this functionality. I'm just going to click on a new lead just to give you an idea how that looks. Now, keep in mind, as it's standard for the whole Easy Redmine application, most of these things are completely customizable. And I don't mean by changing the source code. It's no code required customizations within the application itself. We completely understand that each company has their own sales processes and sales requirements. And for these reasons, all of these fields can be played around with and can be really tailored to your specific needs, which is something that makes a lot of sense to me personally. Now, if I go here one by one, I end up at this one, which is marked red because it's a required field. In this case, that's a campaign. It's one of the new entities that we have in our B2B CRM. And this campaign actually allows you to have a very nice idea about the source of your leads. It's easy to track. You can create reports out of it or statistics. Basically helps you understand where are you generating your leads from. If I go to the right side, just below campaigns, you can actually see lead splitter filters. Lead splitter is a functionality in the new CRM that allows you to set up custom lead distributions amongst your users. Once again, make sure to keep talking about this with the sales consultant once you have the personalized demo. If I go back, do not worry. We do have things called sales activities, which is a way to actually log each sales activity into the system. These options are possible on every single entity that we have in the new CRM itself. And once again, it allows for great reporting, great statistics, anything along those lines. Now, when I go one more step back and actually click on opportunities here, it sort of follows the sales process, right? At first, you have a lead. Once you qualify the lead properly, it can turn into an opportunity. The dashboard of the homepage for opportunity looks very similar. These once again represent further steps into the whole cycle. And once again, if I click on new opportunity, you will see a lot of custom fields. And once again, it's completely up to you how you set these up. These are once again crucial for reporting, for statistics, and the opportunities themselves are meant to help you generate a transparent pipeline and help you understand what the whole CRM system is about. So if I take a look at the status, for example, these specific statuses of opportunities that we have in this trial account can be completely redesigned and made sort of tailored towards your specific needs. So that would be to opportunities. If I go back once more, I can move forward to accounts. Now, if you have worked with with contacts in our previous Easy Redmine in any way, this should be very similar. If I go to accounts, once again, I will get a general overview. And if I would click on new account, I would see very similar thing, right? A bunch of custom fields that I can modify myself, but I'm not going to do that. I think I just want to look up one of the existing accounts that we have in the system already, just to give you an idea how the full account card looks like. Because when I was talking about leads and opportunities, these have to sort of accumulate somewhere, and the place are account cards. So as you can see, when I'm taking a look at this iWalmart account, I can see that there have been 3 opportunities created. They each have some values, and once again, this can be completely redesigned. I've got some people created that belong to this company, and then I can really go through each individual tab right here to learn more about accounts themselves. In our point of view, this is the best overview of your clients that you can get. It is a centralized sort of source of truth for not only opportunities and people within these accounts or clients, but also for things like help desk tickets or accumulated sales activities and everything else. Which means if I would be logging sales activities into any lead or opportunity that have been assigned to this specific account, this way I can quickly get a very nice overview of that. Now, some of our clients are not only working with clients, but also working with resellers or partners. That's why we have a new entity called partners as well. Those are quite new to our CRM system, though very important to accommodate a large portfolio of companies out there. As you can see, those are assigned to accounts. So you can see it here, iWalmart accounted by ThoughtWorks. In this case, ThoughtWorks is a partner. If I click through, it will get me to a partner card where I once again have some sort of basic information. I have specific consultants logged or recorded under this specific partner. I can see which account this partner manages under my portfolio, and then specific opportunities belong. And once again, history, sales activities, pretty much anything that I need to have a clear outlook of the people that I work with, or at least the people that my sales works with. Other than that, I feel like it is pretty similar to accounts. There are also 2 new entities in the B2B CRM, and those are price books and contracts. Those are a bit more difficult to explain, but for us, price books allow you to create customized quotes that you can then present your clients. These price books can consist of many items based on what you as our clients are selling. So if you're a software provider, it might be licenses. If you're a service provider, it might be man days or hours of specific services. In this point, really, it depends up to you what you need to be done, and then you can consult that with one of our sales consultants. And when it comes to contracts, those are designed to provide a very simple point of truth, which means contract should be the place where you go to learn the most about a specific client. You can see all running software, so all ongoing software agreements or contracts, all service contracts, anything that you have ongoing with your clients should be visible on those contracts. But once again, we aim to keep this webinar rather short and simple, so I don't want to dive too deep into the details. I just wanted to give you a very simple understanding of the CRM might look. And at this point, I think, once again, it's a good idea to recommend you to reach out to us, ask us for more details, and we'll set up a demo or a presentation. At this point, this is what I wanted to share regarding the CRM. So at this point, allow me to invite Robert to take over and go through the more features that we have with the version 11 plus. Rob, we can go ahead.
Thank you, Lukáš, for your start. I hope it won't be such a hard act to follow. I will start with a place where we actually gathered all of the news around 11 plus version, which is the release notes, which contains not only the technological information, the stack that the application runs on, which is important especially for server clients, but also it gives overview of the bigger changes that have been done in this version. As Lukáš said at the beginning, you can find this on our website by searching for release notes 11 plus autumn edition. It's a if you go into the knowledge base, it's under technical information. You will see it right at the top. This is release notes for version 11 plus. I still have to remind about version 11.0, the one that came out in spring. Just in case you still are running on version 10, it's important to also check out release notes on version 11 plus, which is a little bit more lengthy, but it explains in detail the biggest, the most important changes that you may face when upgrading from version 10. So back to 11 plus. There are not that many technological changes as opposed to 11.0, but there we just remind what are the prerequisites on the server needed to run this application. I will just stop quickly on Ruby, which is still official supported version is 2.6.3, but we are already running tests on all of our code in Ruby 3.x. And in case you are not really concerned about it, the biggest improvement of this will be speed and performance. So it's a big technological step, but we are getting close to Ruby 3.0, which will in fact increase the performance of the application and speed, which should be really visible for the end user as well. So this is for the technological part. For those of you on cloud, you do not have to worry about any of this. It's just for server admins. In case you need any help, our support will be ready to answer your questions. Now to the features of the 11 plus version. The biggest one that I would guess practically all of your users will find is the new search. This is one big technological step, and it's a completely new engine. It's something that we didn't have before. Again, the most important, let's say, criterion was speed. So we used an engine that would really quicken the results. For example, when I look here, firstly, I get the results well in let's say about 1 second or 2. It's a result above all of the entities, not just the ones that I pre-selected as it was in previous search. And I also got the results in my on the same page. I wasn't redirected to a new one. So even if I'm typing a comment on a task and I need to look up something quickly, I will get the results on the same page. I will not lose my typed text. Whenever I click on the entity, I will be redirected to this entity on a new tab. So again, kind of UX improvement, which we understood would be quite important. In order for this search to be as quick as it is, it has to follow some. It has to be pre-prepared in the background of your application. There needs to be something called index ready from your data in the application. The indexing process is something that you may need to do maybe once you change some setting, or if you are on server, you may need to do it after installing 11 plus. There's nothing to it. It's very simple. It's just a click of a button. It's just important for you to know that in case you search and you have no results for something that you know that you should have results for, you need to start indexing. I will quickly show you how to how to do this. You will go to administration, you will go to plugins, and then there you will find Easy Xapian FTS. It's a Xapian is the engine that we are using. FTS means full text search. All of that I'm saying right now is also documented in the knowledge base. So don't worry, you won't this isn't the last time where you are seeing it. Now, when you edit it, when you go to the editing, at the bottom you will see reindex all button, which is used to prepare this let's say single big file in which the engine searches, and which allows the search to be as quick as it is. In the old search, for comparison, it was always just an ad hoc request into the database, and that's why sometimes you had to wait really long time to get some results. And you may have waited long for just one type of entity, for example, tasks, while in this search, as I showed before, you have results above all of the entities. The entities that are indexed are listed in the documentation, on the dedicated documentation of search, which is linked from the release notes article. As I said, how to manage it, how to administer is explained in detail, including the indexation, including reason why indexing is there, and there are a lot of further things. What I wanted to show you during this webinar is that you may need to do the indexing manually by clicking this button, based on how big your database is. It will take some time. It is from our measuring it. We have more than 1 million items, maybe a couple of million in our own internal system. In this case, indexing took about half an hour, which still can be run in a, well, let's say this is kind of an extreme case, but you are able to plan indexing in a time where users are not using it. And of course, the procedure is done in a way that doesn't affect the current work of your end users. So it's a background job. It doesn't affect anything that your users are doing in the application. It doesn't slow it down or anything like this. Then there are some additional settings which are explained in this full text search documentation. So I would not want to go to them in detail. What I want to go to is some settings of search. So in fact, you can see the supported entities currently. When you go to these ad hoc settings beneath search, you are able to sort the results either by relevance or newest, which is last updated date. And there are, of course, some additional maybe filters that allow you to search only, well, some additional filters above specific entities. For example, to search in open tasks, or to search only internal users. Just a short reminder, of course, the feature that you previously knew in the previous search called suggester, it works the same. So for example, if I'm searching for user, I will type u and then the name, and I will get only results by users. When I type t, I will get only tasks, and I don't have tasks in this name. So yeah, this little feature, tasks for T, projects P, users U, are still is still part of this search. Just a short last information about this. Whenever you change some setting or some ad hoc setting on the search, you need to click again to get the results in whatever you are looking for. One last thing for the indexing. In case of cloud, this index process will be started automatically. So you shouldn't worry about it. In case you still don't see any results, for whatever reason, indexing wasn't done, or some changes in the setting were made. For this reason, even if you are on cloud, you may need to go into this place and index all and run the indexation. Whenever you do this, it is done one time, and the index file itself is going to be updated automatically and continuously as you change the data in your application. So this is only one-time step, and I hope you won't find it too much hassle. Okay, I suppose this is what I wanted to show you right now for the search. I will just remind that there is detailed documentation which you can find and which is linked from this from the release notes. Going on, we have a new feature called mind maps, which is, I think, quite useful for, and it's not only me who thinks this, but for some brainstorming, for planning of the project scope. It's in fact in a time where you don't really know yet what kind of tasks you will do on your projects and who you will assign them to. So it's a lightweight component, which well, it's a mind map. In fact, I know that many of you probably already know them, already use them. So there's nothing really to explain except that, of course, it uses some keyboard shortcuts. You can restructure, you know, drag and drop. You can do whatever you need. It's a really standard mind map. It's a component that we integrated into Easy Redmine. There are some visual configurations you can do. Of course, there are some arrangements. You can even use it as a checkbox, as a checklist, for example, by toggling this little feature here. It can be exported as a picture, and of course, you have some. You have the keyboard shortcuts. You have the tooltip available as well. For each node, you can add so-called attachment, which can be linked to any website, any internet link. It can be a custom description of your text. It can be linked to existing tasks in the system. If you remember the ID or the name, then it will be quickly found. Or even if you think that you already know that this should be a task for someone, you can even create a task which will be automatically linked to this node. So you can have various types of attachments to each node. They are listed as with an icon. Then they are quickly accessible. This was a link to a external URL. If you are asking why do we have two similar components, mind maps and WBS, the answer is quite simple. Well, firstly, as I said, mind maps is more lightweight. It's easier and smoother to use, and the reason why this is possible is that it works. It's independent from technically from other entities in the application, while WBS creates tasks which is a Easy Redmine entity which has a lot of connections to the rest of the system. It reflects workflow. It has some required attributes. It has a lot of connections to the whole Easy Redmine application. That's why it's not really such usable if you want to have too many items, which in fact don't have to be tasks in the system. So let's say this kind of standard procedure can be to do the brainstorm in the mind maps, to really break down this whole project, what it should contain in the mind maps. And based on the results that you see here, some of them will require some specific tasks in this project. So yeah, many of them can be part of the same task, for example. So we will create one task for this whole node here. So this is where you can put the maximum amount of scope in the project, whatever you can think about from it, and then organize the tasks within Gantt or within WBS, in fact. But it will be kind of distilled from this bigger mind map, which some of the nodes don't have to be tasks. Some final technical information. Mind maps is a project module, so you will find them under settings, under project settings, under modules. You can enable it there. Here you can see it. So it will be in the project menu. But also there is an overview of all of the mind maps in the system that you have permissions to view under more menu, and there is a global list of mind maps. In this application, we have only one. I think that would be it for this neat feature. I personally like it a lot. We have already started using it massively in our application. Going on, again, final one. We have dedicated documentation of mind maps functionality, again linked from this release notes article. Going on to something that we had great big feedback, which we based on big feedback from our clients, which is help desk users. In the current, let's say in version 10 help desk, or the spring version 11, you still had to somehow manually configure access to your customers. You have to do a lot of visibility configurations, permissions, maybe user types and custom menus and home pages, etc. There need to be a lot of settings for your clients to be able to access easy Redmine help desk, to be able to enter tickets and work with tickets. And even if you configured everything correctly, there still may have been some places which weren't airtight for whatever type of reason. Which is why we suggested a native built-in feature called help desk users, which in fact introduces a kind of portal where your clients can enter, and they have a independent, let's say, working place or independent view of the application, which doesn't need as many configurations, and it's hard coded to only show these clients only what they should see. I will quickly show you how it looks like, or how it may look like. So right now I am logged in as a help desk user. I don't have any left menu. I don't have anything that should distract me from what I need. As a client, as your client, I want to get into a portal and I see my open tickets, maybe closed tickets as well, and I wanted to easily be able to submit a new ticket. If you want to provide your clients with some additional info, you can put in a notice board and give them some information about where they are, what can they do there. You can describe what they can see in each modules. It's completely up to you. So this is a page that, as a help desk user, is my portal. I don't realize that it's customizable because I'm not allowed to customize it. But you, as administrators of help desk, are able to manage this page, to make it look however you want, using these three types of modules, which is notice board, which is new ticket form, and existing tickets. So what I can do, it's very easy for me to submit a ticket. As a client, I will just enter subject, name of my problem, then I will enter my problem. Whatever troubles me, I may attach some attachments and I submit the ticket. When I open the detail of the ticket, well, when I created it, I am redirected to the detail, and you can see that this is a different view of a task than a regular view of regular internal users. It shows, of course, the title. It shows just the important fields, which is ID, by which you refer the ticket, is a status to let the user know what's going on in it. it comes last, updated date and created date, the description, and then of course some comments which your user, which your client or your operators will enter. I will go back and I will show it in existing ticket. For example, this one, and no, I don't have any comments here, and I don't have any comments here. So I will show it to you in live. So this is a ticket that yes, I entered comment, existing one. I will open this ticket as a regular user of my application. It's the number, yeah. So right now, let's act like I am the help desk operator. So I see some, I see the description, I see whatever the application allows me to see, whatever I configured, and I can write some answer. And it's important to note at this point that if you use help desk well, you don't have to change the way how you use help desk, because your clients only will see comments that are non-private. So if you used private comments in your application at all, you most likely had the setting to show your clients only non-private comments, which I currently have unchecked. So this is fine. And in case I want to send my customer email with this ticket reply, I can check this box. And here I have this email of this customer. So I can work normally in my normal traditional workflow, write an answer, send the comment to the client, and he will see it. He will see it in this. He can see it in this email, of course, but he can also see it in the help desk portal. So let me just quickly check. Yes, and this is the answer from the help desk operator, including the email sent as attachment linked to this one. You can, it's up to you whether you want to send emails or not, whether you want to just add the answers, but it's still same as it was previously. It was very important for us to keep help desk users, or not to have you change your processes by implementing help desk users. So the ticket lifecycle should be the same, and you should not really do any changes. Your operators should not really know the difference. One example, one additional example of what I wanted to show is that if your help desk user writes a reply, then the same changes happen to the ticket as if the user would reply from email. So let me just quickly write another answer, and I will show you what are the changes. So let me refresh the ticket, and two things. One of them is the status. Status after client replies is in help desk global settings. Many of you already know about it. And I have this tag here, need reaction, which is, again, if you use help desk to communicate with your clients by email, you already know about this as well. And of course, I can see this user's answer. One thing that you probably noticed is why is this name anonymous while it's a help desk user? Yes, this is a little bit of a bug which we already have fixed in a very near version that will be uploaded to your clouds very soon. So yes, we know about this, and we're already running final tests to release version with this change. So this would be about the process of how the ticket works in how the communication works with this help desk user. Again, I suppose I will just due to limited time, I have to point you to the documentation, which is very detailed, which again is linked from release notes. It's a part of the big help desk documentation, chapter 9, and it gives you, I hope it gives you most answers that you may have from page configuration of how to log in, or and maybe, and it actually gives you some little roadmap of new features which we currently are preparing, and I want to prepare you for them. They will be in the upcoming minor version. Still is going to be released this year, which will contain import, which may be one of your questions. So import will be possible through CSV. You will be able to assign existing tickets to your help desk users. So of course you already have existing customers who submitted tickets. You want to create them access to this help desk portal. So there is going to be, and it will be documented shortly, there is going to be an easy to use mechanism to assign the tickets to certain help desk user. Because, which I haven't said before, the help desk user only sees tickets that they themselves submitted. So there is no access to different tickets. And we are also preparing LDAP authentication for help desk users. So all of this will be released still during this year, and it will be documented in this very article. So just we realize that these are some features that you will probably, many of you probably will use. I think this should be all on help desk users. Help desk is a bigger topic as well, so it makes sense if you have particular questions to also talk to your account manager or to your consultant, who will give you some more detailed answers to your individual questions. Lukáš talked about CRM, and I would just finally like to mention, at least we have a high contrast team, which actually follows some ISO standards for persons with sight disabilities, to make it better readable for some kinds of users. Where can you find the new team? If you have it enabled, team by user, you will find it on user profile. In my application, I only have design setting globally. So in administration, in settings, and in display, there is a team selection. One of them is high contrast. Dark theme is meant for to save your battery, especially on mobile devices. But high contrast is a theme to make it readable. You can see that it's meant really for to help visually impaired users. And this would be, I think, a wrap of what of the biggest features that you may be interested in. Release notes continue with some different minor features that you might want to check, but from the biggest ones, I would say this is all. Thank you for your attention. Lukáš, back to the studio.
Very nice. Let's call this a studio. We've got 3 questions from the Q&A, which is a good thing because we're just about 45 minutes in. So the first question from Pascal: will we get the link to download the recording after the webinar? This one is very easy. The recording webinar of the webinar should be shared, I think, like within the next few hours or maybe tomorrow, and you should receive an email about this with the information. So yes, the recording will be available. And then we have 2 questions by Edward. And then the first one: hello, we are currently running with version 10 point something with the contacts plugin, not the full CRM. If we update to version 11, do we have to buy the full CRM plugin, or can we maintain just the contacts? So from my understanding, the contacts plugin doesn't exist anymore. At this point, we either have accounts, which are, like you suggested, a part of the new full CRM module, or we have something called shareholders or stakeholders, if I'm not mistaken. However, Robo, correct me if I'm wrong, but we cannot promise whether or not we can replace those. So once again, I guess it depends on getting in touch with us, either through sales@easysoftware.com or support@easysoftware.com, and one of our consultants will reach out to you and you can discuss this personally.
Yeah, thanks, Edward, for the question. For let's say, the database of contacts and not really full CRM use, we added the stakeholders into the very core of Easy Redmine. So in case you are just looking for a database of people who you want to contact, then this would be the solution for you, and you don't really have to buy anything else. You will work just with this, let's say, native feature. And of course, our consultants will help you with the migration of your existing contacts into the stakeholders. We expected this kind of situation, so yeah, we are prepared for it.
Exactly. And a second question by Edward as well. Is there an option to search into comments in the new search?
Yes, Edward, this is a good question. You kind of caught me. I didn't specify where the search is looking through. So it is of the related entities, of the supported entities, it's the subject, is the description, is the comments, and even the attachments in all of these. So yes, comments are part of the index.
Very nice. And I can see two more questions regarding the CRM popping up, one by Sarah. And is it possible to migrate smoothly from CRM 10 to CRM 11? Is it easy? From my point of view, it can very much depend on how much you're using the CRM. But overall, the CRM 11 has like a completely redesigned structure. So it's not like snapping of the fingers. That's why we tend to approach this individually and sort of pay personal attention to each of those. Once again, reaching out to us is by far the best thing here. From my experience, from what I've heard, we've built it to make sure that we can migrate our clients from one CRM to another, right? So I wouldn't be that worried. But at the same time, I definitely recommend to talk to our sales consultants.
If I may add, yes,
ahead.
Sarah correctly put smoothly in quotation marks, because yeah, it will require some effort, but we of course expected this story to happen. So the mechanisms that for the migration are going to be made in such a general way to make sure that however you used the system, whichever fields that you used before, that they will be migratable in the new version. It will require individual attention, but it's of course doable.
Nice. And one more question on the CRM from Pierre. Hello, we are currently using Easy Redmine 10 with CRM. Can we have access to Easy Redmine 11 to start testing while having access to Easy Redmine 10 releases? This, to a point, depends on whether you are using the cloud hosting of Easy Redmine or the on-premise. If you're using the cloud hosting, it makes things much easier. And for us, it's much simpler to set up a testing instance of the version 11, or in this case, version 11 plus. But once again, migrating from CRM 10 to 11 is not it's not doing automatically. We need to pay some attention to it. So once again, the same recommendation here. Get in touch with you, sales@easysoftware.com or support@easysoftware.com. We will find someone to talk to you about this, and we will push this forward, definitely.
From the technical perspective, it's easy enough, but yes, it requires some business talk.
Very nice, Robo. I think we have gone through what we needed to go through. We're 50 minutes past the start time, which I think is just enough. So do you have any closing words?
It was very heartwarming for me to talk to you, these many attendees, and I love that you are actively learning about this version, and that you are taking care of your application and aiming to effectivize your work for your whole companies, and it's
very
actually,
nice.
I'm very happy about it. Thanks, Lukáš, for hosting this.
Thank you very much, Robo. From my side of the table, once again, trial accounts, by far the best way to learn more about Easy Redmine version 11. talking to our sales consultants or have them do a presentation or a demo for you. And then go to our website, easyredmine.com, type in release notes version 11 and learn more about what we've done over the past year. Very nice. This was Lucas, my colleague Robert. Once again, thank you, Robo. And to everyone that joined, thank you very much for the attention. Enjoy the rest of the Friday, enjoy the upcoming weekend, and let's get to work on Monday again. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
See you soon.